Welcome to Legend Story. I'm Your Name, and today we're stepping away from the silver screen to explore a powerful, often overlooked chapter in Liam Neeson's life, his humanitarian mission to Mozambique. When most people think of Liam Neeson, they picture him as Oscar Schindler, Brian Mills, or the voice of Aslan. But far from the cameras and red carpets, there's another side to this legendary actor, one defined not by action or drama, but by compassion, quiet service, and a deep commitment to children in crisis. In 2005, at the height of his global fame, Neeson traveled to Mozambique as a Unicef Goodwill Ambassador to witness the devastating impact of the HIV/AIDS epidemic, and to give a voice to those the world had forgotten. By 2005, Mozambique was one of the hardest-hit countries in the world by HIV/AIDS. Over 1.6 million people were living with HIV, nearly 15% of adults. More than 1 million children had lost one or both parents to AIDS. Access to treatment was limited, stigma was rampant, and many children were growing up in extreme poverty, with little hope. UNICEF was on the front lines, providing antiretroviral drugs, supporting orphanages, training health workers, and fighting stigma through education. But they needed the world to pay attention. And that's where Liam Neeson came in. Appointed a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador in 2001, Neeson didn't just lend his name. He showed up, personally, repeatedly, and humbly. His 2005 trip to Mozambique wasn't a photo op. It was a listening tour, a chance to see, learn, and amplify the voices of those suffering in silence. Over several days, Neeson traveled across southern Mozambique, visiting rural clinics, community centers, and homes where families were battling HIV every day. In Maputo, he met with mothers receiving antiretroviral treatment, medicine that could prevent them from passing HIV to their newborns. He held infants born HIV-free thanks to UNICEF's prevention programs. In small villages, he sat with grandmothers raising orphaned grandchildren, sometimes 5, 6, or 7 children, after losing their own sons and daughters to AIDS. One moment that stayed with him: meeting a 10-year-old boy who walked 5 kilometers every day to care for his younger siblings after both parents died. The boy didn't ask for help. He just said, "I have to be strong." Neeson later recalled, "I've played heroes in films, but real heroes are these children, and the health workers who show up every day with so little." He didn't just observe, he listened, he asked questions, he held hands, and he made sure to speak with local staff, not just through translators, but with eye contact, patience, and respect. Unlike some celebrity visits, Neeson avoided grandstanding. No staged speeches, no self-promotion, just presence. When Neeson returned home, he didn't stay quiet. He went straight to the media, not to talk about movies, but about what he'd witnessed. In a powerful 2005 interview with BBC, he said, "This isn't just a health crisis, it's a crisis of humanity. These children aren't statistics, they're individuals with names, dreams, and the right to live." He emphasized 3 key messages. HIV is preventable and treatable, but only if the world funds it. Stigma kills as much as the virus. Families hide their status out of shame, missing life-saving care. Children are the most vulnerable, yet also the most resilient. He urged governments to increase funding for the global fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. He called on pharmaceutical companies to lower drug prices, and he asked ordinary people to care beyond the headlines. Most importantly, he centered Mozambican voices, never positioning himself as a savior, but as a witness. As he told The Guardian, "I'm not there to fix anything. I'm there to see, to remember, and to tell the truth." Neeson's 2005 visit had real impact. His advocacy helped draw international attention to Mozambique's crisis at a critical time. Donor funding increased. Awareness grew. Today, thanks to sustained global efforts, 95% of pregnant women with HIV in Mozambique now receive treatment to protect their babies. Pediatric AIDS deaths have dropped by over 60% since 2005. Community programs Neeson visited are still running, stronger than ever. And Neeson? He never stopped. He's visited Rwanda, India, South Sudan, and more with Unicef. He's spoken at the UN. He's used his Oscar-nominated platform not for glory, but for good. In a world where celebrity often means self-promotion, Neeson chose service. Liam Neeson's trip to Mozambique wasn't about fame. It was about seeing the unseen and using his voice so others could be heard. In a career full of legendary roles, perhaps his most heroic act was simply showing up, with humility, heart, and humanity. If this story moved you, please like, subscribe, and share it. Awareness saves lives. And remember, sometimes the greatest legends aren't the ones on screen, but the ones who kneel in the dust to lift someone else up. This is Legend Story, where compassion is the truest form of courage. Thank you for watching.